Hi guys, welcome to a new series I'm going to be starting called Space Talk with Abdullah, where I share lots of information related to outer space. Today we're going to be talking about Mars. Let's take a look at some slides that I've prepared. Mars, the red planet. Slides. Mars in a nutshell. So Mars is about half the size of Earth, and it has two moons, Phobos and Deimos, both of which are pretty small, two of the smallest moons in the solar system. It is 190.89 million kilometers from the Sun, but its orbit will usually take it further away or closer. At its closest, Mars is at about 54 million kilometers from Earth. Its temperature can drop as low as negative 170 degrees Celsius in the winter, but it's usually not that low. It resembles Earth in many ways. It has an atmosphere, 4 seasons, and ice caps at its poles. It is the fourth planet from the Sun and the second smallest planet as well. Mars used to be a lot warmer than it is now and had an abundance of water. Now there's only a little bit of water left on this planet, all frozen up in glaciers. Mars was formed 4.5 billion years ago, and like most of the rocky planets, it has a core of molten iron, nickel, and sulfur, along with a mantle and a crust with loads of iron. Viewed from Earth, it looks like a reddish star, but don't worry, this isn't all that we're going to learn about Mars. Why is the red planet so red? Why is Mars so red? It is because it is actually rusty. The water that existed on the planet long ago turned the iron in the rocks to rust. It is this rust that gives the planet its striking red color. When there are dust storms, huge clouds of red dust are blown around, making the sky look red as well. This is an artist's conception of Mars. The mythology of Mars. The planet Mars is named after the Roman god Mars. The ancient Romans named the planet after their god of war because in Roman mythology, Mars is the bringer of battle, war, and bloodshed, and they connected the red color of the planet to that. Bloodshed, red. The Martian terrain and surface. Landforms on Mars are extremely varied. Its surface has huge canyons, enormous craters, and extinct volcanoes. Scientists have found that its canyons and cliffs were formed and eroded by water, like on Earth. Mars also has dry rivers. This means that there was once water on Mars, and we all know that water is the key ingredient for life. Exploring Mars, rovers. Mars is one of the most explored and visited planets in our solar system, along with Venus. People have sent probes, rovers, orbiters, and landers there, all to find out more about this planet. NASA sent the twin rovers Spirit and Opportunity to land there in 2003, and they were sent to examine the soil and rocks for certain minerals and the landscape for evidence that there was once indeed water on Mars. They also took panorama pictures to send back to Earth. There is a picture of Spirit and Opportunity. They're identical rovers, so that's why there's only one picture. In 2011 to 12, NASA launched another rover to Mars, Curiosity, which is still operating to this day. All these rovers use solar panels to get energy. However, because of Mars's frequent dust storms, the panels couldn't work, and some rovers stopped operating. Missions to Mars. Long before Spirit and Opportunity, NASA launched several flyby probes to the red planet, but flybys don't land, they just take pictures of the planet up close. Mariners 3, 4, 6, and 7 were all flybys. Next came the Viking 1 and 2, which actually entered Mars's orbit and sent a lander to the surface, providing humanity with the first ever up-close pictures of another planet's surface. Later, the Mars Global Surveyor was launched, which was an orbiter, followed by Sojourner, which was a robotic rover on Mars. The latest rover on Mars is called Perseverance. It was launched just this year and is going to dig up samples of rock from Mars and is going to keep it until it can launch it back to Earth. It is also carrying Ingenuity, a small helicopter that will scout out the terrain. It's going to be testing brand new technology, and Ingenuity is going to be the first ever powered flight on another planet. There is a picture of Perseverance, and there's tiny Sojourner. It's about the size of a box. Colonizing the red planet. We're all waiting for the first humans to step foot on Mars, because up till now, humanity has never explored another planet in person. But NASA and SpaceX, along with a company called Mars One, are planning to send people to the red planet as early as 2027. That's only 6 years from now, so most of us will be alive to see it. However, you can only send a rocket to Mars every 2 years because that's when its orbit is close enough to Earth for a launch window to open. So these first people will have to live on Mars for 2 years, growing their own food, living inside their space modules, wearing spacesuits with oxygen and pressure regulators, and doing extensive research and experiments. In the 2030s, there will be even more people living on Mars with their families, not because they're scientists, but because Mars is just a good place to live. Interesting facts about Mars. Did you know that Mars is home to the largest volcano in our solar system? It is called Olympus Mons and is almost 16 miles high, which is 3 times taller than Mount Everest. In addition to that, Mars also has one of the largest canyons in the solar system, Valles Marineris. It is easily visible from space and in pictures. It's about 10 times longer than the Grand Canyon. That's the width of the entire USA. The red planet is frequently swept by violent dust storms, which are some of the largest in the solar system. Man, Mars has a lot of the largest things in our solar system. Mars has just about the same landmass as Earth, not counting Earth's oceans. That means if you took all the continents and smushed them together, you would get about the surface area of Mars. Mars will actually have a ring system someday, similar to Saturn's. Phobos, the larger of its moons, will crash into the planet, breaking off and creating tons of rocks and debris, along with chunks of ice, to float into space and orbit Mars, giving it an assortment of rings. However, this is expected to happen in around 75 million years, so don't wait up. This is an Earth-Mars size comparison. So what did you guys think of that? I hope that now you know a lot more about Mars. If you enjoyed that video, please hit like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode of Space Talk with Abdullah. Thank you for watching!